What's up, guys? Holding the Alice 50 here, bringing you My Hero Academia manga review. This was chapter 217, titled A New Power and All for One. Now, this chapter had a lot of good gems, a lot of good things. But let's start off with how it started. It started off with Bakugo angrily attacking Deku, and he comes up with this theory that if he attacks him until he hurts him, eventually that quirk will manifest again. And we have All Might stopping the fight. He's like, I don't think this is working. Plus, Bakugo, you're going, too hairy on him. And this is just practice. Then they go back to the faculty room where Deku and All Might usually speak. But this time, Bakugo joined. And they start to talk about how he felt when he was in the exam and the quirk and stuff. And he believes that if he uses his emotion to keep it in and lock it, maybe if he uses it again, maybe he can unlock it and switch back and forth. But at the same time, Deku feels like he's not really ready for it, so he's kind of torn apart because it's like he wants to use it and he wants to be able to master it, just like he does All for One. I mean, One for All, but at the same time, it's like he's afraid of what might happen to his body or his surroundings because what happened last time he used that Black Whip power. So he did explain to All Might what the guy looked like that appeared in front of him, and All Might stated that the guy before Nana that had the power was actually a guy with long black hair, which I'm not sure we have seen him yet in that shadowy picture, but he was the one before Nana. So this bald-headed guy with the black whip, he was either before him or a generation before that. So, or maybe, who knows, maybe he was one of the first ones to have it, like number 2 or 3. I mean, we already have 9 users so far, so we don't really know which placement is which. We know All Might and Nana was 8 and 7, and we know Deku is the 9th, and we know number 1 is the brother of All for One, but we don't know the in-between numbers from 2 to 6. So just wait and see how Horikoshi do with that. But after that, everyone goes to their places, buildings. Deku goes to the teachers lounge, and they're evaluating all the students and stuff and how they did in the test. And the hero speaker mic actually spoke up and was like, hey, Azawa, isn't Shino, doesn't he remind you of a younger you? And he was like, those are just back in the day, those are my old stories, let's not talk about that. He's trying to avoid that completely. And we have Deku and Bakugo back to the house, and the house is full of people. Because it's not just A1 students there, a couple of B students are there as well. And we see a couple of them in the picture. And they're there because supposedly it's a special night. I forgot what they're cooking, but Class B wanted in on it, so they joined. And if you look at the panels, you notice there's a small picture in the side of Dark Shadow, Toriyama. He's there, and he's talking to Mushroom Girl from Class B, and she's asking him, do you have any private pictures of Hawk? And she blushes when she says that, and you have Toriyama just crossing his arms, and he's like, no. And there's a funny little cute picture on the side there. Then you have Mineta and Mana, and she has him hooked up to a chair with these weird machines, watching some TV screen, and he looks scared, and she's questioning him. Then behind Mushroom Girl and Toriyama, you have the other guy who can seep into the shadows or manipulate anything shadow-like. He's there talking with them and stuff, and there's a couple of Class B students you can see in that panel. It's very interesting. But then we have Todoroki go up to Deku, and he was like, so you have 2 quirks just like me, huh, Deku? I'm surprised that you would actually hold him back then in the tournament. And Deku explained to him, no, this is just a freak misunderstanding. My quirk just developed something else, but it's still part of that power. And he's trying to explain it to Todoroki, so Todoroki won't feel bad, like, oh, Deku was holding back against me. But at the same time, not giving him too much information about, One for All, since not everyone is supposed to know about it. You have a funny moment where Bakugo is eating, I'm not sure if it's curry or cereal, but he's like, that half and half bastard, as smart as you are, you kind of dense too, aren't you? And it was just hilarious. But then we get the most important part of the chapter, the end. We have Manoma and Deku, and they're visiting Eri. And Azawa was like, I'm sorry for calling you 2 out here, but I think it'd be easier for Eri if you 2 were here supporting her. And they was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, let's go inside. So they go inside of this other faculty building, and Manama swipes a quirk. Problem is, we find a new, we learned the new fault of his quirk, and why he never used it on Deku really, or why he didn't choose to copy Deku's power in the tournament, and that was because the problem with the quirk, it's not really Manama's quirk that's the problem. It depends on the type of quirk he absorbs or swipes, I should say. Because if he swipes a quirk that's a stockpiling quirk or an accumulating quirk, it does not work. For the example, I'm going to use the example they use. Fat Gum. Fat Gum can shoot off his fat. Now, if that was to be swiped by Manama, he won't be able to use it effectively because he's not fat, he's skinny. So he'd be able to use a quirk, but it would not be as much or as powerful as Fat Gum, because Fat Gum is fat. It works out for him. See what I'm saying? Same thing with Deku. Deku has been passed along that power and has been stockpiling in him. When Manama swipes it, he only gained like the base level of it. He doesn't gain all the stockpiles. So basically when he swipes it, he's going to be at level 0. The same power as All For One's brother, who had One For All, the quirk, since he was the first one to have it. So it goes to that base level. But he won't gain none of the stockpiling on top of it, which means he won't get none of the benefits. And Deku himself said, thank God that, he wasn't able to steal that power, or all his limb would have blown out and he would have died. Manama, even though he's smart, when he feels like he's about to win or outsmart somebody, he gets kind of cocky and he lets that get to him. And he starts acting more stupid than he already is. So he probably would have blown up and died, and that would have hurt Deku a lot. It wouldn't have really been his fault, but that would have hurt his pride a lot, knowing a fellow student died because of his quirk. But luckily that didn't happen, but it could have. That's what was basically stated. But yeah, he was trying to steal Avery's quirk because Azawa had the idea, hey, if you steal Avery's quirk and master it, we can use you to be her teacher and then help her master it so she can master her quirk. That way she can actually live a normal life without her power going rampages and making everybody into nothingness. Or blobs of germs or whatever. Her power is very OP and unique. Then Aries touches her horn and she's like, I'm sorry I'm causing you all these problems. I wish I wasn't causing your problems. I wish I didn't have this power. And they all felt bad when she was saying this. But Deku, of course, being the man, being the hero, steps up and he goes down to Eri and he kneels down and he's like, I'm happy for your power. Thanks to your power, I was saved. And I was able to save you. And he was like, your power might be dangerous, but it's not what type of power you have, it's how you use it. And Deku brought up a really good example. He's like, knives are deadly, but if you know how to use them well, know how to chop up things well, you can make delicious food. Because your power is the same. It might be dangerous, but it depends on how you use it, not what it is. So, that was a really easy and simple example Deku brought up. Something that someone as Aries' age could actually understand. And she did, and she even said, I want to resolve this, and I want to actually learn how to use my powers. So now Aries has actually resolved to now use her powers, which that's great because now she's actually going to be more motivated to actually catch up to Deku and Mirio level. You know what I'm saying? She wants to reach that pinnacle. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if she may end up being Deku's partner in the future. Who knows? Maybe she might be the next All For One, One For All holder. It can go either or. Or she can be like the Gran Torino for Deku. Oh, Nana. Nana's best friend slash sidekick was technically, the old man, Gran Torino. So maybe in the future, Eri might be that for, Deku. Or maybe Eri might control her powers and revert Mirio. I always pronounce Mirio back to his original power. So that'd be kind of cool too, if he gets his power back. Because remember, Mirio is still powerless, sadly. So, but that was basically the end of the chapter, guys. A really great chapter, really great stuff. If you have not read chapter 217, I advise you go read it. Great chapter. If you're ready, go read it again. Really great chapter, great stuff. Can't wait for, not next week because they're on break, sadly, but the week after. Can't wait. But that's all I have for you guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Share with your family and friends. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to get more. Because, sometimes YouTube won't notify you. And follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below. But that's all I have for you guys. Have a good one.